Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be doing a full in-depth tour of my book room, of my bookshelves, of basically this entire room around me. Mostly focused on my bookshelves though. I recently moved into a new home, and so with that I was able to completely redo this room and making it into my dream home library, if you will, or my dream book room. I had so much fun doing that and I absolutely loved the way it turned out so much. I am obsessed with this room. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and without further ado, let's get right into the tour. This is what the entryway looks like. And then when you walk in, I have my desk and I have a little Charlie Brown, well, it's really a Snoopy calendar. So my desk is from Amazon. It is a standing desk, so it does move up and down and you can adjust it. And then we have my chair, which is also from Amazon. There is like a little compartment in the middle and two little drawers you can put stuff in. And I have my computer. Above this is a print. Let me zoom in on that. So this was a gift to me from one of my best friends in middle school. She gave this to me for either my birthday or Christmas. I can't remember, but her parents own an art press. And so this is from one of the artists that they worked with. And I'm very grateful. I love this. I think I've had it hanging up in my room since she's given it to me. I think it is so cute. I have my trash can. I have a mirror here, which this is kind of just like to be determined if I'm going to keep it here. We had it in the living room, but I just really did not like the way that it looked in there. So now it's in here. Will it stay in here? I can't tell for certain, but I have my little frog down here as well. My parents sent that to me. I just thought it was so cute and I love frogs. Then we have my shelves. I'm going to do in-depth on those in a second once I get through the rest of the room, but these are what they look like. And then down here I have my giant Snoopy. I have a little baguette jelly cat and another frog jelly cat. And then coming over, I have my little cart. So on here, I have books that are on my TBR that I've bought recently that I want to get to. So I have Immortal Consequences, Dire Bound, and Alchemized. I have my headphones, and then I have some other little magnets on here. These two are from Boston, and I honestly cannot remember where the third one is from. On the second shelf, I just have my planner, a Bible, and then another little magnet. This one's from Blue Willow Bookshop in Houston. And on the bottom, I have my little book cover. So when I travel, my book can stay safe and protected. I have some fall decorations on each side. I have a little pumpkin and another little pumpkin. And then coming up, I have this puzzle. I believe I got the puzzle itself at Barnes & Noble. And then by the window, I have my little reading nook. This is actually a nightstand that I had in my bedroom in our old house. I didn't really know where to put it, and I ended up actually really liking it here. I think it's from Amazon. I'm honestly not 100% sure. I have some fall decorations on here. So I have a little coaster, some candy corn, and a little scarecrow plate. And then I have two books that I am currently reading. The chair itself is from Wayfair. It's pretty comfortable and it's pretty spacious. My ghost pillow is from Costco, and then my blanket I think is from Home Goods last year. I have a little jelly cat. This one's my favorite. She's a little bunny and I put bows on her. And then down here I have my Build-A-Bear that my boyfriend got me. Coming over, I have my little side table. The table itself is also from Amazon. And then I have a little, I think it's actually a placemat, but that's from my boyfriend's mom. I don't know where that is from. I have another little coaster, and then I have some other little Halloween fall decorations on here. Vintage Dracula Snoopy, I think, from my grandma. And then I have my Lego bouquet. I have another little candy corn, another little vampire Snoopy, and a little jack-o'-lantern. Then we have my gallery wall. These are from a couple different places. This one is a puzzle, and that is from Barnes & Noble. Then I have some other prints on here. I'm fairly certain I can tell you where they are from. The two smaller ones are from Blush Bookstore in Dallas. I think it's House of Jupiter is who made them, if I'm not mistaken. This one right here is from the Ripped Bodice in Brooklyn. I honestly don't know who the artist is. These three right here, they are from Etsy, but I have a How's the Weather Parks, Read More Books. I have a beach read one. I have a Daisy Hates print, and then this one says late night reading. And then I have my little Throne of Glass print as well. So let's get into the actual shelves. I'm gonna put you on a different tripod so you're a little bit more stable. I'm gonna do this shelf by shelf since I want this to be pretty in-depth. So starting out with the far left, I have a little tulip jelly cat, and then I have my Elsie Silver area. I have the Chestnut Spring series. I have a little calico critter right there, and then I also have one of the mirror covers from when they were special published through, I don't know where you could get them. I think Amazon is where I got it. That's the only one I ever got. And then I got the traditionally published covers. Then we have my little Jessa Hastings area. So I have a little bear that's from Scotland that my best friend got me when she went this year. I have Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. That one I think is the UK cover, and then I think that the Magnolia Parks that I have is the indie published. If I'm not mistaken, I found those on a whim at Half Price Book. That was such an amazing find for me. And then I have the whole Magnolia Park series. I have a little crochet bee and a little honeycomb. And then I also have the Conditions of Will right there that she wrote. I have some of my favorite romances. I have some Julie Soto, one Carly Fortune book because I actually don't like the rest of her books. Some Tara Dewitt, and then Jessica Joyce. Then I have a little Allie Hazelwood stack right there. Those are pretty much all of her books besides the novella set, and then Bride is in a different area just because the cover's a lot darker. I have another little calico critter on top. A lot of my calico critters are just from the mystery packs. You can get them at Five Below, but they're super cute. Then we have my Emily Henry area. So I have all of her books. Another little calico critter right there. It's a little lobster. Moving over, we have Ashley Poston, which I actually do enjoy a lot of her books. The Dead Romantics was a favorite of mine, and I have a little coffee bean jelly cat. Then we have my whole Taylor Jenkins Reid area. This is most of her books. I don't have some of the other ones. I think I'm missing maybe In Another Life, and I feel like there's one other one I'm missing. I don't really remember. Then we have some Annabelle Monaghan, and then Abby Jimenez as well. As for the rest of the shelf, I have a lot of random romance right here. None of them really stood out too much to me. I have my little Hannah Grace stack with a little macaron on it. I have the whole Heartstopper graphic novel series. I have the first two books in the Boys of Tommen series over there as well. I also have a little guy from Color Factory as there as well. A lot of the books on the left half are my favorites. Coming over here, I'm meh about some of these, but I do love the Heartstopper books. Those are some of my all-time favorites, but they're just over there to kind of give some color. That is the first shelf. It's definitely pretty much all romance. So on to the next shelf, we have a lot of fantasy, and most of these are favorites of mine, but there are some ones that you'll see kind of iffy about. I have all the Hunger Games series right there, and then I also have another little calico critter. We have the Kingdom of the Wicked trilogy, which I absolutely loved. I have both the special editions, which I think are gorgeous, but I did not like either of these books. I actually DNF'd this one, so I don't think I'm going to continue them. Then we have the Powerless trilogy and Powerful. I didn't really care for these books. Then I have the Caraval trilogy. Again, not really some of my favorites, but I have a little heart-shaped planter cactus jelly cat. I have the Holiday novella. I have yet to read that one, but I'll probably read it around Christmas this year. And then I have the Once Upon a Broken Heart trilogy. I actually really did enjoy those books a lot. Then we have the Belladonna trilogy. I loved the first book in this trilogy, but I didn't really care for the rest. But still, they're so beautiful. I love those covers so much. I have a little Halloween decoration right there, which says, "Which way did she go?" It's a little funny because the next books that are right next to it, Heartless Hunter and Rebel Witch, follow a witch and a witch hunter. So I actually just realized it now how fitting that was. So I love that duology so much. Then we have Rose in Chains by Julie Soto. Again, I absolutely loved that book so much. I do have a little pin right here. The back fell off, so that's why it's not on something, but it says "So many books, so little time." I have my Raven Boys series. Absolutely love those books so much. I have loved them for so long. Then we have A Number in the Ashes quartet, as well as Air. I love those books. I'm so unwell after the ending of Air. I need to know what's going to happen next. The whole rest of the shelf is my Sarah J Maas shrine, so let's get into that in a little bit more detail. Right here we have my whole new covers of Throne of Glass. If you don't know, Throne of Glass is my favorite series of all time. Then we have the Crescent City books. Not my faves, but they're there regardless. Then we have in the new covers of Akatar. I have a little bat jelly cat on top, which I think is really fitting. If you've read those books, then you know the Bat Boys. On top, I just have a little Halloween garland, so I think that's from Home Goods as well. Coming over into this last section, we have my original covers of all of Sarah's books. These are all copies that I read and bought the first time I read the series back in 2017, 2018. I can't remember which year it was. It was 2017 or 2018. All of those except for Queen of Shadows are ones that I read and purchased when I was like 13 years old. My best friend got me Queen of Shadows last year for my birthday. I'll show you two little kind of special things about some of these books. So this one actually is signed. Tower of Dawn is signed. This is also the Barnes & Noble special edition. The day that A Court of Frost and Starlight came out, I made my mom pick me up from school to go to Barnes & Noble to get it, and I saw this there and I was like, no way. So I bought this, and yeah, I'll show you the signature or the signed page. I got this at my local Barnes & Noble when, I don't even remember, whatever day of Court of Frost and Starlight came out is when I got this bad boy. So this is a prized possession of mine. I know that some people would probably kill for this. And then we also have my Barnes & Noble exclusive of Kingdom of Ash. As you can see, this is when I read it for the first time. I put these sticky notes in there because I wanted to read it in exactly a week. This was how many pages I was reading a day to ensure that I got through it in a week. The outside is that gold, but I absolutely love the inside. It works so much. So this is Manon, and then we have Dorian, Aelin on the spine, and then Rowan and Kale's back here. But yeah, this is the copy that I got. I sobbed my eyes out reading this for the first time. She's not in the greatest condition. I don't know how well this is focusing, but that is very much one of my prized possessions as well. And then I have all of the Akatar books with the original covers, and then I have a little jelly cat there that's a star. I thought that was really cute and fitting just because we have A Court of Frost and Starlight. It kind of matches the vibe. I also have a little sticker here as well that just kind of lives there. So that is my second shelf. A lot of this is my SJM shrine, but most of it is just kind of fantasy romance. The top shelf is a lot of books that, at least in this area, are just general fiction for the most part, and then going down we have more fantasy. So right here on the end we have a lot of my nonfiction and then some religion books. Then going over we have my mostly hardcover fiction. A lot of those books I didn't really care for. I really did enjoy Yellowface, but the rest were just okay. Have another little calico critter up there. He blends in with the blue and the yellow. A lot of this is general fiction, literary fiction. These four books right here are books that I really enjoyed. So we have Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow, The Favorites, The Song of Achilles, and Kate and Frida. The rest of those books I felt pretty meh about, I'm not gonna lie. Then we have my Kirsten Hanna section right here, from here to here. I just have a kind of awkward gap right there, so just excuse that. But then I have another little Halloween decoration right here, and then we go into some thrillers. Then we go into my fantasy area. So I have the Fourth Wing books. I have a little jelly cat on top, and then the rest of these are pretty much just fantasy. There's not really a rhyme or reason for the way that they are put in there. Most of them are just because I thought the covers looked good, or the spines looked good matching that way. Then coming over, we have a little V.E. Schwab area. I do have a little Rachel Gillig area right here. Then we have most of these books over here, I think with the exception of Shady Hollow and Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies are YA, so the Jennifer Lynn Barnes, Red Queen, Legendborn, Renegades with the Cruel Prince, all of those are YA. We have my Harry Potter books, and then we have a little two Funko Pops, which are Hermione and Remus. So these are my bookshelves. I have a couple disclaimers. When I built these, or more specifically when my dad and boyfriend built these, I thought that I would have a ton of room left over. I thought I would have a huge gap on every single shelf at the very end, that I wouldn't have any books to put there. When we actually started putting the books on, I was very, very shocked and very, very surprised to find that I didn't have as much room as I was expecting. So we are planning on adding 2 more shelves, one underneath and then maybe one more on top. For like the whole statistics on what the wood is and everything, I have no idea what the wood is. They were 12 feet long and they are 3/4 of an inch thick. I got them at Home Depot and we stained them this color. The stain that we got is the Bare New American shade if I'm not mistaken, and it is the water-based one. I did it. I've never stained anything before in my life. It was very, very easy. We have 3 brackets on each shelf, and they are drilled into the studs in the wall, and they are, I think, 10-inch L brackets. My shelves are 10 feet. They're wall to wall, so it's a 10-foot wall. I didn't really want to be able to see the brackets. I just wanted to see the wood. Those are my shelves. I need more. I haven't been buying books at the same pace that I used to be, mostly because I've been trying to utilize the library before I go right into buying a book, just because I'm picky and sometimes I don't like books. So I don't see the point in spending $20 on a book when I might not even like it, sometimes more than $20. Hopefully when we add 2 more shelves that they'll last me a pretty long time and I won't need to build any more. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed my tour. I love my bookshelves. I love my book room. It is such a amazing, fantastic room to me. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.